Hi traders, it's Chris here at thetradingmentors.com. Hope you are having a wonderful weekend, and this is the daily video analysis for the 15th of January next week. So before we get into the markets, and we're going to have a lot of fun today because I'm going to go into a lot more detail in terms of targets and stops on the weekly Forex technical analysis and price action, so that you can get a better understanding of why we set the targets and why we set the stops and where we set the stops, so you can get a better understanding of what's trending right now. Before we do, let's have a look at the news for next week. Monday is absolutely nothing, no red flags at all. Tuesday we've got CPI coming out from Canada, and then the Empire State Manufacturing Index at 1:30. So Tuesday looks like it might be interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. Wednesday, we've got core retail sales coming out from the US. That's really, really hot. So look out for that. I will remind members, of course, VIP members, once that's just to remind you that it is coming out, so you can adjust your trading accordingly. And Thursday, the usual unemployment claims out the US, that's every week. And then Friday, retail sales out the UK and consumer sentiment at 3 p.m. So the big one is the retail sales on Tuesday, so look out for that. Monday looks pretty quiet. So a very warm welcome. Delighted to welcome you to the weekly Forex forecast and technical analysis for the 15th of January. And there's a couple of things which I'm going to add to help you along the way and explain why these targets are really, really important. And I'm also going to include a percentage number which will help you to make better decisions. So the higher the number, the more attracted the price is to it, but also the higher the number, the bigger the reaction is going to be on this, because this is a high liquidity area. This is the DXY, doesn't matter what it is, but the higher the number, anything above 40% is highly likely to have a reaction at this point. And so you're going to get this happening. So at this point, you're going to get a rebound to the upside. In the meantime, as long as it stays below the 50 EMA, you're going to see this happening. So as I run through the charts and explain, first of all, parabolic trend. What is a parabolic trend? And I'm going to explain that for people who are new to YouTube channel. Welcome to you guys. Hopefully you're going to enjoy the next 15 minutes. So don't skip forward whatever you do, because you could miss a great trading opportunity coming up, because I'm going to give you the stops, I'm going to give you the targets, and you trade at your own risk, of course. So this is the DXY. As long as the price remains below the 50 EMA, then we say this is weak. This is part of the parabolic process. And if it moves above the 50 EMA, then this is strong and the buyers step in. So we can see here that this tool here will give us the information that we need. So whenever you see the price move down and the sellers come in, if all the sellers are in, the price simply slides away. That's how it works. And if you see all the buyers coming in above the 50 EMA, then that is where you come in and you buy. And we have a trading rule to ensure that you lock in profits along the way, and we have swing highs during the VIP session. So if you want to become a VIP member, I do this every day, but I dial into the 4-hour chart. I'll explain that in a moment. So the DXY is looking weak. As long as it stays below here, we don't have change of character and we don't have all the sellers in, so it is very mixed. So all the dollar pairs will remain mixed. That's how it works. But first of all, before I go any further, let me explain what a parabolic trend looks like in terms of the whole structure. So let's pick one. Let's do the pound Aussie. So as we say, once it moves down, it goes down. Once it moves above, it moves up. We've got all the buyers in. But we want to see change of character to the upside. So once we see the change of character to the upside, which is this, what we call CHOC, change of character, that is the parabolic trend to the upside. There's a buy zone, which I post every day in the VIP room and give you the trading opportunities, and I give you the trailing stops every day as a member. If you don't want to become a member, that's fine as well. I need looking for serious traders anyway. Yen futures. Well, Yen futures is saying sell, but it's above the 50 EMA. So this is in a high liquidity area. Okay, so any kind of move upwards, this is going to 78.11. Now the analysis to come up with that number is based upon years of data. So this goes back to somewhere like 2015. And we look for previous highs and very high liquidity areas. So in other words, as this price moves up to target 78.11, there's going to be a reaction. Okay, so there's going to be a price reaction. And for instance, if the price breaks below the 50 EMA, then of course that is going to fall down, and it comes down to this area here. I haven't put a target because it's not ready yet, but there's going to be a 53%, which is even higher. So there's going to be a reaction here. So these are trading opportunities during the week. So look out for them. It's a lot of fun. But a target, while it remains above the 50 EMA, is going to go to 78.11. But it's not parabolic. Notice this here. All the sellers are in at the moment. So we have to wait for the buyers to step in, and then we know what to do with the yens. In terms of the Swiss franc futures, now this is all about correlation, isn't it? So if the DXY is trending, we know what we're going to do with the dollar pairs. If the yen futures contracts are trending, then we know what to do with the yens. Very clear. And if the Swiss franc futures are trending, then we know exactly what to do with the Swiss pairs down here. Hopefully it makes sense. We use parabolic trends where all the buyers are in. We use correlation to make that decision as to which pairs we're actually going to buy and sell. So as we can see with the Swiss franc futures, just showing you these because these are the correlation charts. So we do expect further upside, but it's fighting with this trend line at the moment, but it's going to 12092, very high percentage, 68%. So there's going to be a double top there. Then a reaction is highly likely to fall down. So that's something to watch. So we don't just give you the targets, we give you the percentage of where the reaction is going to be. So these are tradable events. So if you're a contrarian trader, the higher this number, the more chance you've got of making money to the downside in this instance. Now for us, in terms of the Swiss pairs, we want to see a parabolic trend like this to the upside, like this to the upside. And once we get that, then of course the Swiss pairs will actually fall down. That's how it works. And some of them are parabolic already. So let's go into the parabolic trends that have already been established for next week, so that we can get some nice trades, some nice pullbacks and some nice profits. So the Hang Seng is in a parabolic trend. It is down. All the sellers are in. Happy days. So this is a tradable event, and what I'm going to do is give you the targets and then give you the stops. Okay, so trade at your own risk, of course. And if you've got the Advanced Pro charts, then of course you'll know exactly what this means, and your chart should emulate mine. So in terms of the target, Hang Seng is downward, retested the 50 EMA as we expected, and then rolled over and came down, and all the sellers have been in for the last 4 or 5 days. So the first target is 15,992. This has a 42% chance of being reached, very high, but there's also fairly high in terms of reaction. So watch out for that. Could be a pullback back to the 50 EMA. If it breaks down completely, this area here, then of course it will fall down and head for 14,604. Now that has an 82% chance of a reaction there. So that is a very high tradable event if you're a contrarian trader. Okay. So let's have a look at the 4-hour chart. So you can actually see where your stop should be. So this is the change of character, the chock, the pullback, and then the 1, 2, 3. So the stop is 16,479, 16,480, let's call it. That is your stop. And your target is, your first target is 15,992, and then on to 14,604. The dollar DXY is mixed, but sterling, pound USD has gone parabolic to the upside. So pound USD has gone to the upside, and we had parabolic, and we have all the buys in the last couple of days. There was some good news out of the UK last week. And the target is 131, 51% chance of being hit. So this is very attractive and also reactive. So as it gets to 131, there's highly likely to be a reaction to the downside. So it's a fantastic target. Your stop is 126.50. All the ends are parabolic to the upside, although the engine, the yen futures, is looking mixed. So we have to wait for that really. But nonetheless, while we have the market structure, if it's holding on to this area and moving up, your stop is 96.60, 96.50, and your target is 98.59 and then 99.69. So if you see this going up to there, this is above 40%. So therefore, there's likely to be another reaction at this point. Something like this is likely to happen. So if you're a contrarian trader, that's a good one to enter at the top there. If you're a trend trader, that's a good one to enter there. But parabolic to the upside, as long as market structure holds above 96.62, happy days. So this is what we do every day during the daily video analysis for VIP members. So you can get into a strong trend as they appear on my charts, and I'll actually keep you posted as to how it's doing. So in terms of the Canadian yen, there is a target 109.57. 26% is the number. So this is a weak high, not a strong high. So there's unlikely to be any reaction here, very little indeed. And the strong target is 111.15. And as I said, these numbers are going back to 2015, 2020, and sometimes even further. So we do a monthly chart analysis and pull it back. So 111.15 is a 42% chance of the price having a reaction at that point. So that could be moved up to there, couldn't it? Somewhere like that. So when you see these targets here, 26%, they're nice targets to have because they're a few hundred pips or 100 pips, whatever. But the big number is this one here. Pound yen is parabolic to the upside. You can see it straight away on the Advanced Pro charts. It's above the 50 EMA. All the buys are in. Happy days. And of course, it's holding on to market structure. You have some buy zones, which I'll tell you about in high liquidity zones, which are really important on price action charts. And so therefore, the pullback is just a pullback. 183.50 is your stop, your support area, and as long as the price holds on to market structure, we can expect it to go to 189.70. 40% chance of reaction there. If it breaks through that, look at that number. 78% chance of hitting 196. Some 1200 pips to go, but it won't do it in one go, of course. It will do it in stages, but nonetheless, a 40% chance of hitting this and then having a reaction. So that's a good target to have. Euro yen. Now, as I mentioned earlier, remember the engine is not switched on. What I mean by that, the yen futures are not quite ready yet, but they could be ready by Monday. So don't worry, they could just have a reaction and off they go to the races. Euro yen, congratulations if you're in this, members. Nice pull back here. And as long as the price holds on to market structure and stays above 157.98, that's your stop loss. That's your support line. As long as it stays above there, you're going to see a reaction to the upside. Again, 165.26 has a 40% chance, a very high chance of being hit, and then a high chance of having a reaction. Love these charts, don't you? They are brilliant, aren't they? I've been trading for 30 years, and I never get tired of these charts. They are fantastic. So New Zealand yen, oh, look at that there. So here we go, 68%, very strong high, and definitely going to be a reaction there. So that could be a tradable event if you want to fancy selling it at 93.95. And as long as the price holds on the market structure, then of course your support is 89.90. Swiss yen, deep correction. I love these. Coming into the high liquidity area, you could be trading this on Monday. So as long as the price holds up, then there's a 43% chance, very high, of going to 172.11. Nothing higher than that. But that's 300 pips anyway. Now this support here, it's irrelevant because it's nowhere near it. But these support areas are calculated just for future reference. Pound Canadian is parabolic to the upside. Happy days. And so your stop and support line is 169.70. So in other words, all you're going to do as a VIP member, I'm just going to post you these support areas as they move up. So and I charge $30 a month. It's really cheap for my 30 years of trading, and of course you can just move your stop with the trend as it goes. All right, so target 173.34, 46%, very high probability of being hit. And now remember, the targets can take a week, they can take 2 weeks. It doesn't matter how long it takes, it just depends on how strong the markets are. Now, if you've noticed here, I've marked everything in green when it's parabolic to the upside, and red when it's parabolic to the downside. So Euro Canadian has gone parabolic as long as it holds on to market structure and above the 50 EMA. Then happy days, all the buyers are in. Targets, yeah, one target, 150.46 with a 46% chance, very high. Now, watch this. Canadian Swiss. Yep. Okay. This, you very rarely see 100%. You might not see 100% for another month or so. But 100% chance of it going to 63, but that's not far away. The important thing is there's likely to be a reaction at 63, because going back 10 years or whatever, this price is really, really important and has very high liquidity on it. So at 63, it's likely to get a big bounce. So just be aware of that if you're trading short Canadian Swiss. I think I've got a position on that. I need to check. Your stop is 64. but it's not going to go very far. This is not a favourite trade. On the other hand, Aussie Swiss, if you're in the Aussie Swiss, you can get ready for this. It won't do it in any time soon, but your resistance point is 57.50. So as long as the price holds onto market structure, we've had the change of character already, and I posted this into the signals room and the VIP room, so you should have the trade live. And here we go. Okay, so the target now is 53.47. There was a smaller target here, 56.35, but the bigger target is 53.47, and there's 89% chance of being hit and 89% chance of a very, very sharp reaction there. High liquidity areas are very, very important. We cover these every day. Pound, what is this? Pound Aussie. So yes, this is Parabolic to the upside above the 50 EMA, and it's got a target 193.50, 64% chance of a reaction at that point, high liquidity area, and your stop is at 189.11. And last one, Aussie New Zealand. I don't trade this, but you can trade this if you wish. Your stop loss is 107.75. Now if you're doing this and you're following with a demo account, happy days, let me know how you're getting on, but don't trade any real money until you're confident that you know what you're doing. Sounds like common sense to me. And you obviously trade at your own risk if you're using real money. That's your choice. But if you go 50 cents a lot, doesn't matter, does it? Just let it go. Just let it go. Work 10 minutes a day to make money. So here we go. Aussie New Zealand is to the downside. All the sellers are in. Stop 107.75 and target 106.20 with a 55% chance of being hit. So very high, very strong low, if you like, is the way to see that. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun for me doing that calculations. I love the market analysis. So what to watch out for? Hang Seng to the downside. We're going to be watching DXY, Yen futures, Swiss futures, just to see whether any of those go parabolic. If they do, then I will let VIP members know. And if you want to be a VIP member, part of the team, then please click on the links below in the description. Pound USD to the upside, but the engine is not on. DXY is not clear. So just watch out for that. Not my favourite trade, but it is parabolic. Aussie Yen. All the yens are to the upside, but again, the engine is not switched on. What I mean by that is we've got price above the 50 EMA, but we don't have change of character to the upside. So I am waiting for this price to do that. Once it does that, I will let members know. Let me put an alert there for members. And that comes to my email, and then I throw it into the members area. So what else? Pound Canadian to the upside. Euro Canadian to the upside. Canadian Swiss to the downside, but warning, it's reaching the end of its trend. Aussie Swiss to the downside. That looks fantastic. Pound Aussie to the upside, and Aussie New Zealand to the downside. So hopefully you enjoyed the last 24 minutes. And if you've got any questions or comments, then please put them in the description. Into the YouTube account, or you can email me, or you can message me on Telegram. No problems at all. Have a wonderful weekend.